gentlemen, let's finish reading the jury instructions. This includes cell phones and electronic and social media such as text messages, Facebook, MySpace, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, email, etc. Do not do any research or make any investigation about this case on your own. Do not visit or view any place discussed in this case. And do not use internet maps or Google Earth or any other program or device to search for or to view any place discussed in the testimony. Also, do not research any information about this case, the law, or the people involved, including the parties, the witnesses, the lawyers, or the judge. This includes using the internet to research events or people referenced in the trial. This case will be tried on the evidence presented in the courtroom. If you conduct independent research, you will be relying on matters not presented in court. The parties have a right to have this case decided on the evidence they know about and that has been introduced here in court. If you do some research or investigation or experiment that we do not know about, then your verdict may be influenced by inaccurate, incomplete, or misleading information that has not been tested by the trial process, including the oath to tell the truth and by cross-examination. All of the parties are entitled to a fair trial, rendered by an impartial jury, and you must consider yourself so as to maintain the integrity of the trial process. If you decide a case based on information not presented in court, you will have denied the parties a fair trial in accordance with the rules of this state, and you will have done an injustice. It is very important that you abide by these rules. It is important that we have your full and undivided attention during the trial. Instruction number 20. Occasionally, after a jury retires to the jury room, the members have questions. Usually, questions about instructions can be answered by carefully rereading them. If, however, you feel it is necessary to ask a question, you must do so in writing and deliver your questions to the court attendant. I cannot communicate with you without first discussing your question and potential answer with the attorneys. This naturally takes time and deliberation before I can reply. My reply will also be in writing. Keep the written question and response and return them to me when you reach a verdict. The court attendant who has been working with me on this case will be under oath not to communicate with you except to ask if you have agreed upon a verdict. Please do not put the court attendant on the spot by asking her any questions. Instruction number 21. When you begin your deliberations, you should select a foreperson. He or she shall see that your deliberations are carried on in an orderly manner, and that the issues are fully and freely discussed, and that every juror is given an opportunity to express his or her views. In order to return a verdict, each juror must agree to it. Your verdict must be unanimous. It is your duty as jurors to consult with one another and reach an agreement, if you can do so without compromising your individual judgment. Each of you must decide the case for yourself, but do so only after an impartial consideration of the evidence with the other jurors. During the deliberations, do not hesitate to re-examine your view and change your opinion if convinced it is wrong. But do not change your opinion as to the weight or effect of the evidence just because it is the opinion of the other jurors or for the mere purpose of returning a verdict. Remember, you are the judges of the facts. Your sole duty is to find the truth and do justice. Instruction number 22. I am giving you 2 verdict forms. You will only sign 1 verdict form. Your verdict must be unanimous. When you have agreed upon your verdict, and the foreperson has signed the appropriate verdict, you should notify the court attendant. Dated this 22nd day of June, July 2015. Verdict forms. Verdict form number 1, we the jury find the defendant, Scott Carl Pfister, guilty of the crime of sexual abuse in the 3rd degree. Signature blank, foreman or forewoman. Verdict form number 2, we the jury find the defendant, Scott Carl Pfister, not guilty of the crime of sexual abuse in the 3rd degree. Signature blank, foreman or forewoman. Do you solemnly swear that you will take and keep this jury together in their jury room unless directed by the court, and not to allow any person to speak to or communicate with them, nor to speak with or communicate with them, except to ask whether they have agreed upon their verdict, and not to communicate with them the state of their deliberation or the verdict agreed upon, until after the same shall have been declared in open court and received by the court, unless they be sooner discharged by the court. And that the exhibits taken by you and delivered to the jury shall not be left unattended or tampered with until returned into open court. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's now in your hands. Thank you.
Your Honor.
Yes.
I think this time it would be appropriate to excuse the alternate.
We have to do that. You're right. Thank you for reminding me. We need to identify the alternate juror. Yep, go ahead. All right. Now, you will remain here. Then the rest of the jury will go back and you will receive some separate instructions. Thank you. Always disappointing for the alternate to learn of the alternate. What I would like you to do is let Donna know where she can reach you. Don't talk about the case with anyone because there's still the potential that you would be called in to deliberate. I gave the example of someone who slipped and broke their hip, and some things like that happen. We will let you know what the verdict is. And then after that, you're free to discuss or not discuss the case as you see fit. Thank you for your service, taking the time to listen to the case, and we appreciate everything done. So, Donna, if you'll take the alternate's name and telephone number, and I've instructed her not to talk about the case, then we'll let her know what the verdict is at that point. But she's free to leave the courthouse. Thank you.